All right, so number 2, we have 3 times y plus 6 is equal to 30. I'm going to distribute the 3. And when we distribute, that is the operation of multiplication. So I'm going to say 3 times y, which is 3y, plus 3 times 6, which is 18. Write down the rest of the problem. Now, in order to solve for 3y, or to get y by itself, I have to subtract 18 from both sides. Cancels. So we're left with 3y is equal to 12. Divide both sides by 3. So y is equal to 4. Number 3, we have 3 times 15 minus 3, and that is in parentheses, squared, divided by 4. Remember, order of operations, and you'll actually be watching a video later on this week about it. Order of operations, we go to grouping symbols first, so I'm going to go inside here. 15 minus 3 gives me 12. I'm leaving it in parentheses. That way, if it was or had a negative symbol, it would stay with it. Bring down the rest of the problem. Exponents are next. So 3 times the quantity, 12 squared, excuse me, is 144. We continue. Sorry, went too far. Yes, sir. Because it's inside parentheses, I must, since it's inside parentheses, I must do that operation before I complete the exponent. All right, so now, hey, if we don't have a calculator, we may have to go old school. Go over to the side. 144 divided by 4. 4 goes into 14 3 times. Multiply back, subtract, bring down, so forth. So that means that 3 times the quantity of 144 divided by 4 is 3 times 36. And yes, if we still do not have a calculator, we multiply 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9, plus the 1 is 10. So therefore our solution is 108. Continuing on, number 4. We have 4 times 20 plus 12 divided by 4 minus 3. So by our order of operation, we're going to do every operation inside parentheses first in this case. So I have 20 plus 12, so that's going to be 4 times 32 divided by 4 minus 3 is 1. Still leaving them in parentheses. Now I have to perform my multiplication and division from left to right. So first of all, I have to say 4 times 32. We have to go to the side. 4 and 2 is 8. 4 and 3 is 12. So therefore we get 128. And that is divided by 1. Any number divided by 1 is itself. So my solution would be 128. And number 5, we have a negative 1/8 minus 2/7. Fractions. In order to solve this particular problem, we have to have a common denominator. When dealing with 8 and 7, our common denominator would be 56. Now I went ahead and brought the signs down. So 8 goes into 56 7 times. So 7 times 1 gives me 7. 7 into 56 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. So now I am really only mainly interested in all of this up here, because the 56 is going to stay. That's going to be the number on bottom because they're the same now. Negative 7 minus 16. Since the signs are the same, we're going to add the numbers. and we keep their sign. If possible, we want to see if they reduce, and in this case 23 and 56 do not reduce, so this is my solution. And lastly, sorry. All right, going ahead to number 6. We have -2 to the 5th power. Now it's very important that it's in parentheses. This exponent means that I'm going to multiply this number times itself 5 times. So I can write it as -2 times -2 times -2 up to 5 times. A couple of ways that we can look at this as far as multiplication. If you can want to start, since it's all multiplication, there is a couple of ways. That's the reason why. But if you want to start, -2 times -2 is 4. That gets those two. 4 times -2 is -8. -8 times -2 is -16. I'm sorry, that's positive, isn't it? And then a positive 16 times a -2 would give us a -32. If you wanted to work it this way, it would also be all right. I've seen multiple people do it this way. These two numbers together is 4. These two numbers together are 4, and they bring down the rest of it. Well, 4 times 4 is 16 times -2. You still get the same solution. But whatever way works best for you here, that's the main thing. And that is your startup for week 1.